You have any problem with us checking inside the house?
Nope.
No problem at all? So you're okay if we go in there and walk around just to take a look?
Yes.
There's a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too.
Oh, my knees. Keep going. Hey, no, quick. Now.
Think for a moment about the one person you trust without question, the friend who is family. Now imagine that person, welcomed into your life, fed at your table, knowing your deepest vulnerabilities, is the one planning your death. That level of betrayal doesn't just end a life. It shatters the very idea of trust for everyone left behind. This is what happened to Aaron Davis. He was spending the night at the home of his best friend, Brandon Risner. The attack was not a chaotic street brawl. It was a silent, surgical ambush delivered in the supposed sanctuary of a spare bedroom. More than 40 stab wounds to a sleeping friend. The silence after the attack was the most terrifying sound of all, broken only by the killer's frantic effort to clean up the blood. When police finally arrived for a routine welfare check, they were met by the killer himself, who was unnervingly casual. Brandon Risner, the man who had just committed an act of unspeakable savagery, did the unthinkable. He opened the door and invited them into the murder house. Listen to the instant dread in the officers' voices as they realize the horror they have just stepped into.
Looks like we've been here a while.
There's a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too. Decent. More than just vomit.
Inside that bedroom, the officers saw enough blood to confirm a murder. Outside, Aaron's car was already ditched in a creek. But the most chilling detail was yet to be revealed. The killer had attempted to dismember his best friend's body in the shower. This is the story of Brandon Risner, the ultimate betrayal. Aaron Davis and Brandon Risner had known each other for years, bonded by shared faith and high school memories. Their lives had diverged slightly. Aaron was driven, newly graduated, and on his way to see his girlfriend. Brandon was a former haunted house actor, seemingly drifting. Despite the differences, the friendship remained strong enough for Aaron to entrust Brandon with his life. The last time anyone saw Aaron, it was November 11th, 2022. He was spending the night at Brandon's before driving to Alabama. He would never make the next leg of his journey. The first sign that something was terribly wrong arrived not as a missing person report, but as a piece of abandoned property.
Y'all don't think he's in there?
No, I didn't already down there.
Okay. Son's name's Aaron Davis. Supposed to be coming to Rome to see some friends and going to Alabama to see his girlfriend.
I don't think he made it there.
Nah. I wonder where he's at. Why his car down there?
Crazy thing is, there's nothing. I mean, there was no acceleration. It's almost like it just
rode off in there or something.
Yeah. Didn't go all the way up in park or something. Yeah, I mean, there's lights on like it's, but it ain't running.
A blue Toyota Prius was found submerged in a shallow ravine in a local creek. It was ditched, not accidentally driven. There were no immediate signs of a struggle or foul play at the car itself. Police quickly traced the vehicle, revealing the owner was the recently reported missing person, Aaron Davis. The car was found, but the man was gone. The immediate priority shifted to locating Aaron. With no forced entry or signs of a struggle in the car, all suspicion led back to the last place he was known to be, the house of his best friend. The officers who arrived at Brandon Risner's address were expecting a cooperative witness, someone who could offer a timeline or theory. The man who answered the door was unsettlingly calm, even casual, given the circumstances.
I'm Officer Gone. We're the Run Police Department. We're following up on all this stuff. So I know you already talked with Officer Bethune earlier a little bit and talked with Officer Stallings. Can you walk me through what's going on? Just make sure we're at the same page.
We started drinking around 12 yesterday.
Yeah, it's you and Aaron, right?
Yeah, me and Aaron.
Okay. Anyone else with you guys? Okay.
And we went to bars sometime in the evening. Came back here. We were driving and then we started drinking the red wine. He doesn't drink too often, so
yeah.
he had gone upstairs while she was puking everywhere, into the toilet. He was like standing up puking for some reason. And then I went downstairs because he was telling me that he doesn't need any help. And I went downstairs, dropped a bottle, cut my pinky, and I went to the urgent care this morning. And yeah, I bandaged it up, took a shower, went to bed.
Okay.
And then woke up 1 to 2 a.m. around that time, and his car was gone.
So, how long have you and Aaron been friends?
Since like we met when I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
Then we became more like close friends, I'd say, like around freshman year.
Okay. So when was the last time you talked to him? When he was upstairs in the bathroom? Okay. Did you go to sleep after that? Around what time do you think that was?
I'm not sure. Maybe
Okay. I know it's hard to keep track.
between 10 p.m. to 12, maybe.
Somewhere between 10 and 12. Okay. So your parents out of town last night?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're just coming back today.
Yeah.
So you've been knowing him since you were in 5th grade? It's a long time, man.
We've gone to the same church.
Okay.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
Mormons.
Yeah.
I've kind of drifted away a little bit.
Yeah.
And he would drink occasionally, but he's still like staying with the church.
Yeah. So he didn't drink a lot because of that.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
occasionally. So I imagine the alcohol poisoning.
It's possible. We're still trying to find him. I don't know. You know, he may just be staying at a hotel, sleeping off whatever happened last night.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean he's in danger or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
You have any problem with us checking inside the house?
Nope.
No problem at all? So you're okay if we go in there and walk around just to take a look?
Yes.
Okay. You mind hanging out with Officer Bethune while I do that? No dogs or anything inside, right?
No.
Okay. No ferocious iguanas or anything?
No.
You never know, man. People have all kinds of pets.
He allowed them to walk directly into the core of his dark secret. This calculated risk was based on the premise that his cleanup was sufficient, a gamble he quickly lost.
Well, I'll get a consent search of the residence. I'm just going to have him walk with me to make sure I don't go somewhere where he doesn't go. It's important.
So this is my parents' bed.
Okay, so you don't normally go in
I
here?
confess, I did take a couple baths in there because they have the bathtub.
Normally does in the master, you know.
I've been doing laundry from all the kids upstairs.
Okay.
But anyways, that's my stuff.
Okay. You want to step back here with him real quick, please? Thank you. What about this room?
That's normally the guest room, but Aaron wanted to sleep upstairs.
Okay.
The atmosphere shifts instantly as they cross the threshold. Even before they reach the bedroom, officers noticed attempts at cleaning, a frantic, failed effort to erase the past few hours. When they entered the room where Aaron had slept, the casual pretense Brandon had maintained vanished. The evidence was overwhelming, soaking into the floor and staining the walls.
It's not mine. Hey, 09. a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too. Decent. More than just vomit. All the way over here. Looks like it's been there a while, but he could have been throwing up blood, I guess. It looks like it too. See all that? It's weird to be throwing up blood like that. Not to mention, if he had alcohol poisoning, he wouldn't have been able to get up and move around this morning. Especially at 2 or 3 in the morning.
The officers now knew they were no longer looking for a missing person. They were standing in a primary crime scene. The question was not if a murder had occurred, but where the victim was.
I won't come over here. We got a pretty significant amount of blood in the floor. We got blood on this armoire thing and all over here on the other side of the floor on a rug. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here and just go back outside. Just traces with the other guy. That's it right now.
You need to secure a warrant for the rest of the house? Yep, certainly do that. I didn't see any drag marks or anything downstairs. Because if he's not very good at cleaning stuff up, he would have missed that too.
We need to get out of here to Yes.
At this point, Brandon knew the game was over. He broke his composure and made a panicked, desperate attempt to flee.
Oh, my knees. Keep going. Hey, don't quit. Now. He jumped the fence.
Chase, Brandon Risner was captured. The man who had been a trusted friend and an unsettling host was now confirmed as the prime suspect. But the investigation was only beginning to scratch the surface of the unimaginable violence that had occurred inside the quiet suburban home. The discovery of the blood was only the prologue to the crime. Brandon, who had seemingly confessed to the act by fleeing, eventually detailed his desperate attempt to dispose of Aaron's body. The narrative revealed a plan far more calculated and sinister than a momentary act of rage. Aaron was attacked sometime before midnight. Brandon climbed onto the roof, entered the upstairs bedroom through a window, and attacked his sleeping best friend. He stabbed Aaron more than 40 times. This was not a quick or painless death. This was an execution driven by an unknown, horrifying rage. The brutality extended to the cover-up. Police found blood residue in the trunk of Brandon's car, confirming he had moved the body.
He's saying there's blood in the trunk.
Brandon attempted to dismember the body in the shower before wrapping it in plastic and placing it in a suitcase. The autopsy later confirmed the true horror of the removal, proving the cold, monstrous actions of the killer.
Also, part of the autopsy, a portion of the small intestine was missing, and it's believed that it was removed through this area of dismemberment there.
While the evidence stacked up against Brandon, the search for Aaron's body continued, adding unbearable psychological torture to Aaron's family. They knew their son was gone, but they couldn't bury him. Meanwhile, Brandon's own parents were experiencing a different, devastating form of reality. The sudden realization that their son, the one they raised, was a wanted killer. Police had the tragic duty of informing Aaron's family of the gruesome circumstances. No amount of preparation could shield them from the news that their son, a recent college graduate with a bright future, had been murdered by his oldest friend.
That's really many questions. Here, I don't know a whole lot because I'm not been here doing a lot of research. I think be specific.
Why would he do that?
We don't know the cause of the fire. We don't know about the fire.
Why you do that? We need my son. The family needs him. Oh my God.
The emotional collateral damage of Brandon's violence was immense. A mother's memory of kindness was shattered by the truth, and a girlfriend's future was violently erased. The betrayal felt like a scar on every single person who had loved Aaron and trusted Brandon. When the case moved to the courtroom, the true cost of Brandon's betrayal was quantified in the victim impact statements. The words of those who loved Aaron offered the most painful testimony of all. His own sister spoke about the unique cruelty of Brandon's malice.
Brandon knew how much Aaron's siblings needed and loved him, but Brandon stabbed Aaron to death. Made him suffer first with that knowledge that Aaron was so needed.
Aaron's girlfriend, who was waiting for him to arrive for what would have been a normal visit, faced an unimaginable loss. The words she delivered in court spoke to the profound love she lost, stolen in the most vicious way possible.
Aaron Davis was and is the love of my life. I will never be the same for having known him. He loved me and I loved him. I could tell you 100 love stories, and it would not do justice to how wonderful he was.
Perhaps the most powerful indictment came from Aaron's mother. Her words cut through the clinical facts of the case, exposing the profound breach of trust committed by a young man she had welcomed into her family. She had nurtured the killer who took her son. The planning, the brutality, the subsequent dismemberment, and the cold demeanor all pointed to a singular conclusion: malice. Brandon Risner pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including malice murder, aggravated assault, concealing a death, and removal of body parts. His defense argued for leniency, pointing to his mental state, but the evidence of his calculated disposal of the body, ditching the car, attempting to dismember the body, spoke louder than any mental health plea. The court ultimately ruled that the premeditation and the unnecessary brutality of the crime demanded the maximum penalty. Justice, the judge determined, required accountability for the horrifying evil perpetrated on a young man who was merely a guest in his friend's home. The only possible sentence was one that ensured Brandon Risner would never walk free.
Justice requires that Mr. Risner be sentenced on count 1 to imprisonment for life without parole. And that's what I'm going to do.
Brandon Risner was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. His actions did not just take Aaron Davis's life. They corrupted the very definition of friendship and shattered two families, one by grief, the other by a terrible disgrace. Aaron Davis, a young man with a bright future, was murdered by the person he trusted most. The physical scars were on the victim, but the emotional scars of that betrayal remained forever on his family, friends, and the quiet Georgia town that witnessed the horrific crime.